Life hits hardest when you're standing still, waiting for someone to give you permission to move forward. I learned this truth decades ago, watching countless talented individuals waste their potential because they believed success required an invitation from others. Every second you spend hoping for a helping hand is a second lost in building your own future. This isn't just a lesson from books or motivational talks. It's a truth written in the struggles and victories of every self-made individual who ever achieved anything worthwhile. I remember clearly the day this lesson hit home for me. It was a cold morning in 1992, standing in my small apartment, bills piling up on the table. I had spent months sending out resumes, waiting for callbacks, hoping someone would recognize my potential. That morning, looking at my reflection in the window, I saw something that changed everything. I saw a man waiting for permission to live his own life. The television was playing in the background, showing stories of people who'd made it. But something struck me about each success story they shared. None of these people waited for an invitation to succeed. They didn't stand in line, hoping someone would tap them on the shoulder and say, "It's your turn now." Most people live their lives like passengers, waiting for someone else to drive them to their destination. They waste years looking for the perfect mentor, the right connection, or the ideal opportunity. But here's the hard truth I learned that morning. The only person who can truly change your life is staring back at you in the mirror. Every morning, millions of people wake up hoping someone will notice their talent, praying for that magical phone call that will change everything. They're waiting for a rescue that will never come, the harsh reality. That rescue mission was always meant to be led by you. This isn't about being alone in your journey. It's about being in charge of it. It's about understanding that while others can support you, guide you, even inspire you, no one can or will do the hard work required for your success. That responsibility lies squarely on your shoulders. I've seen this play out thousands of times over the years. The ones who break through, who actually achieve their dreams, aren't necessarily the most talented, the most educated, or the most connected. We'll grasp this fundamental truth. Waiting for help is a form of self-sabotage. Today, we're going to break free from the waiting room of life. We're going to understand why self-reliance isn't just a nice concept. It's the only path to true success. We're going to learn why the help you're waiting for is actually the help you need to give yourself. This message isn't about isolation or refusing support when it's offered. It's about taking full responsibility for your life and understanding that your success cannot and should not depend on anyone else's intervention. The sooner you grasp this truth, the sooner your real life can begin. Let me tell you about a young man I met in Chicago back in 1992. Brilliant mind, incredible ideas, but he spent 5 years waiting for his boss to promote him, waiting for his family to support his dreams, waiting for the right moment that someone else would supposedly create for him. 5 years later, I met him again. Nothing had changed except the light in his eyes had dimmed. His story is a perfect example of how waiting for others becomes a prison of our own making. It's something most people don't understand. Every time you wait for someone else to advance your life, you're not just wasting time. You're actively dimming your own power. It's like having a flashlight in the dark but never turning it on, because you're waiting for someone else to flip the switch. The comfort of dependency is perhaps life's sweetest poison. It feels safe to wait for others. It feels responsible to seek approval. It feels normal to want someone else to validate your dreams. But this comfort is an illusion, and like all illusions, it eventually shatters, usually when it's too late to easily change course. Children learning to walk. No child waits for a detailed lesson plan. They don't ask for permission. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They try, fall, get up, and try again. Somewhere along the way, we lose this natural instinct for self-reliance. We start believing that we need layers of approval and support before we can take a single step forward. Let me share something powerful with you. Every significant achievement in human history started with one person deciding to stop waiting and start acting. Thomas Edison didn't wait for someone to hand him the blueprint for the light bulb. Helen Keller didn't wait for the world to accommodate her limitations. They grabbed their futures with both hands. The comfort zone trap has 3 deadly components. First, it convinces you that waiting is wise. Be patient, it whispers. Your time will come. Second, it makes dependency feel like responsibility. Get more advice, it suggests. Wait for the right connections. Third, and most dangerous, it makes you feel like you're doing something when you're actually standing still. I've watched people spend decades in comfortable dependency. They become experts at planning, preparing, and waiting. They collect degrees, certificates, and endless advice, but they never actually start. They're like architects who draw beautiful buildings but never break ground. The plans just pile up, gathering dust while life passes by. You might be thinking, but I need help to succeed. Let me be perfectly clear. There's a world of difference between accepting help and waiting for help. Accepting help means you're already moving, already working, already committed to your path. Waiting for help means you're standing still, letting your dreams fade while you hope someone else will make them real. The world is filled with people who will tell you why you can't succeed on your own. Will say you need connections, degrees, inheritance, or luck. They're wrong. What you need is already within you. The courage to stand alone, the strength to begin, and the persistence to continue. Breaking free from dependency starts with a simple but powerful shift in thinking. Instead of asking who will help me, start asking how can I make this happen? Instead of waiting for opportunities, start creating them. Instead of seeking permission, start taking action. Here's a truth that might sting. The help you're waiting for often doesn't come because you're waiting for it. Success is attracted to movement, to action, to commitment. When you truly start moving toward your goals, help often appears, but only after you've shown you don't absolutely need it. The most dangerous trap in waiting for others is that it gives you an excuse to avoid responsibility. If you're waiting for someone else's help, their approval, their permission, then you don't have to face the fear of failure. You can only say, well, I would have succeeded if only someone had helped me. This is a comfort zone lined with regret. Your life is a solo mission. Yes, you'll meet allies along the way, but no one else can or will do the heavy lifting required for your success. This isn't negative thinking. It's the most liberating truth you'll ever hear. When you truly understand that no one is coming to save you, you'll finally save yourself. Breaking free starts now today. Not when you feel ready, not when someone approves, not when the stars align. The only permission you need is your own, and the only perfect moment is this one right here, right? Here's the truth about success. It's not a group activity. Yes, you'll build teams, create partnerships, and find mentors along the way. But the decision to succeed, that's yours alone. The early mornings when doubt creeps in, you face those alone. The moments of uncertainty when everyone else is sleeping, those are yours too. Personal responsibility isn't just about taking blame when things go wrong. It's about taking command of every aspect of your life. It's about understanding that your current situation, whether good or bad, is the result of your past decisions, and your future will be determined by the decisions you make today. Let me tell you about Maria, a woman I met in Phoenix in 1994. She was working 3 jobs, raising 2 kids, and everyone told her she was crazy to start a business. Wait until the kids are older, they said. Wait until you have more savings, they advised. Wait until someone can help you, they insisted. But Maria understood something crucial. Waiting for the perfect moment means waiting forever. Instead of seeking validation, she made a decision. Every night after her kids went to bed, she spent 2 hours building a business. No approval needed, no permission required. Just pure, focused action. Today, she runs a company that employs over 30 people. She didn't wait for life to get easier. She got stronger. Most people think they need validation for their decisions. They collect opinions like some people collect stamps, hoping that enough positive feedback will somehow make their dreams less risky. But here's something I've learned watching thousands of success stories unfold. Every significant decision that changed someone's life was made alone. Every skill you need can be learned. Every resource you require can be earned. Every connection you want can be built. But it all starts with you deciding that you're done waiting for permission, done waiting for the perfect moment, done waiting for someone else to make your dreams come true. Building inner strength is like building physical strength. It requires resistance. Each time you make a decision without seeking approval, you build that strength. Each time you continue despite criticism, you build that strength. Each time you fail and get back up alone, you build that strength. I remember talking to a successful business owner in Seattle. He told me something profound. The biggest decisions in my life weren't the ones everyone approved of. They were the ones everyone questioned. This is a pattern I've seen repeatedly. Real growth happens when you learn to trust your own judgment above the chorus of well-meaning advice. Here's what taking control really means. It means when you wake up in the morning, your first thought isn't what will others think, but what needs to be done. It means understanding that while advice is valuable, decisions are personal. It means recognizing that your life is not a democracy. You don't need a majority vote to move forward. You might be thinking, but what if I make the wrong decision? Good question. Here's the truth. You will make wrong decisions. You will fail. You will face setbacks. But here's the key. When you take full responsibility for your life, wrong decisions become lessons, not excuses. They become stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. The power of personal responsibility transforms everything. When you stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for perfect conditions, stop seeking universal approval, something magical happens. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start finding ways instead of finding excuses. You start creating paths where others see walls. Building inner strength requires daily practice. Start small. Make decisions without consulting everyone you know. Take action without waiting for approval. Face criticism without seeking defense from others. Each time you do this, you're building your decision-making muscles, strengthening your self-trust, developing your personal power. Remember this. Nobody can want success for you more than you want it for yourself. Nobody can believe in your dreams more than you do. Nobody can work harder for your goals than you will. This isn't depressing. It's empowering. It means your success isn't dependent on anyone else's effort or approval. The world responds to action, not to wishes. When you take full responsibility for your success, something magical happens. The excuses disappear. The what ifs fade away. You looking around for approval and start looking ahead for opportunities. Your focus shifts from who will help me to how will I make this happen. Taking control means understanding that while the world can influence your life, it cannot determine your life unless you let it. It means recognizing that every moment of waiting for validation is a moment lost in creating value. It means accepting that the perfect moment is now, and the perfect person to make it happen is you. Your strength grows every time you choose action over approval, decision over delay, responsibility over excuses. This is how you build the inner power that no external force can shake. This is how you create a life that's truly yours. Let me share with you a truth that has transformed thousands of lives. Action isn't just part of the success formula. It is the formula. Everything else, all the planning, dreaming, and hoping means nothing without consistent, determined action. I've watched thousands of people transform their lives once they grasp this principle. Take Sarah, a single mother I met in Dallas. She stopped waiting for the perfect opportunity and created her own business from her kitchen table. No investors, no partners, just pure determination. Today, she employs 50 people. She understood that waiting for help was wasting time she could spend building. Here's the action formula that has never failed. First, decide what you want with absolute clarity, not vague ideas like more money or better life. Be specific. Write it down. Make it so clear that anyone reading it would know exactly what you're aiming for. Sarah didn't just want a business. She wanted to create a specific product that solved a specific problem for specific people. Second, commit to achieving it regardless of who helps or doesn't help. This isn't about being stubborn. It's about being determined. Make a personal, unshakable commitment. Write it down and sign it like a contract with yourself. This commitment becomes your North Star when things get tough. Ready to take one concrete action towards your goal every single day, no matter how small. Notice I said concrete action. Not planning, not researching, not getting ready to get ready. Real action that moves you forward. Sarah started by making one product per day in her kitchen. One, every day. No excuses. Fourth, measure everything. Keep track of what works and what doesn't. Success leaves clues, but you'll miss them if you're not paying attention. Create a simple system to track your actions and results. Sarah kept a notebook recording every sale, every customer comment, every improvement she made to her product. Fifth, adjust based on results, not opinions. Let the market, not your friends or family, tell you what's working. When something succeeds, do more of it. When something fails, learn from it and try a different approach. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent and practical. Creating your success system. This is crucial because systems beat willpower every time. A system is simply a set of regular actions that you perform without questioning. Like brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether to do it each morning, you just do it. Start by breaking down your goal into daily actions. If you want to build a business, your daily system might include: contact 3 potential customers, Work on your product for 2 hours. Learn one new skill for your business. The key is consistency. Small actions repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. Create non-negotiable time. Blocks for your most important actions. Sarah worked on her business from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. every night, after her kids were in bed. No excuses, no exceptions. This wasn't about motivation. It was about commitment to her system. Build what I call success triggers into your environment. These are physical cues that prompt action. Keep your work materials ready. Set up your workspace the night before. Eliminate distractions before they occur. Your environment should make action easier than inaction. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The fear of acting alone is natural, but it's also a liar. It tells you you're not ready. You need more preparation. You should wait for help. Here's the truth. Fear dissolves through action, not through waiting. Start with what I call fear-sized bites. Don't try to conquer your biggest fears first. Start small. If making sales calls terrifies you, start by calling one person. Just one. Then build from there. Each small victory proves to your brain that action is safer than inaction. Remember this. Everyone who acts alone feels fear. The difference between success and failure isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act despite it. Every successful person you admire felt fear, doubt, and uncertainty. They just didn't let these feelings make their decisions. Create what I call a failure budget. Decide in advance how many failures you're willing to accept as part of your learning process. If you're making sales calls, maybe your failure budget is 20 no's per day. This transforms failures from stops into steps. Use the 5-second rule when fear strikes. When you know you need to take action, count backward from 5, then move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for confidence. Just count and move. This breaks the pattern of overthinking that fear creates. Build what I call action momentum. Start each day with one small but significant action towards your goal. This creates forward motion that makes subsequent actions easier. It's like pushing a car. The first push is hardest, but once it's moving, it takes less effort to keep it going. Document your progress daily. Keep an action journal. Write down every action you take, no matter how small. This serves two purposes. It shows you that you're making progress even when it doesn't feel like it, and it builds your confidence by creating a record of your commitment. Here's something crucial. Action isn't just about doing, it's about learning. Each action teaches you something you couldn't learn any other way. No amount of planning can replace the wisdom gained from actual experience. Every action, successful or not, makes you stronger and smarter. Create accountability through action, not promises. Don't tell people what you're going to do. Show them what you're doing. Actions speak louder than words, and they create a different kind of pressure. It's harder to quit when people can see your progress. Remember this, the perfect moment to act is now. Not when you feel ready, not when you have more information, not when someone offers to help. Now, because the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. You'll never have all the information, and waiting for help is just another form of delay. Your action formula is your personal power plant. It generates energy through movement. The more you act, the more energy you have to act again. The more you accomplish alone, the more confident you become in your ability to accomplish more. I've seen too many dreams die in the waiting room of life. Too many talents wasted because someone believed they needed permission to be great. The price of independence is high, but the cost of dependence is higher. Let me explain exactly what this means. Success demands sacrifice, but not the sacrifices most people think about. Yes, you'll give up some leisure time. Yes, you'll miss some parties. Yes, you'll have nights when everyone else is sleeping while you're still working. But the real sacrifices are deeper than time and energy. You'll need to sacrifice the comfort of approval. When you choose independence, when you decide to build your own path, many people won't understand. Friends might question your choices. Family might worry about your stability. Colleagues might mock your ambition. This isn't because they're bad people. It's because your independence threatens their dependence. I remember talking to a successful entrepreneur in 1995. She told me the hardest thing wasn't working 18-hour days. It was eating lunch alone because my coworkers stopped inviting me after I quit my job to start my business. But that lonely lunch table was where I planned my first successful product launch. Here's the truth about criticism is the tax you pay for standing out. When you choose to be independent, when you decide to build something on your own, you become visible. and visibility attracts opinions. Lots of them, often uninvited, usually from people who have never done what you're trying to do. Building mental toughness isn't about becoming hardened or cold. It's about developing the ability to stay focused on your goals regardless of external noise. It's about understanding that other people's opinions are their business, not yours. Your business is your actions, your progress, your results. The first step in building mental toughness is accepting that discomfort is the price of growth. Every time you feel uncomfortable, uncertain, or afraid, recognize it as a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The discomfort you feel is the feeling of your old limits being stretched. You'll need to sacrifice the luxury of excuses. Independent people can't blame their boss, their circumstances, or their lack of connections. When you take full responsibility for your success, you lose the comfort of having someone else to blame for your failures. This is a heavy burden, but it's also incredibly empowering. Critics will come from unexpected places. Sometimes your biggest critics will be those closest to you. They'll disguise their criticism as concern. "I'm just worried about you," they'll say. "I don't want you to get hurt." Remember this, while their concern is real, but it's based on their fears, not your potential. Mental toughness grows through exposure to challenges. Each time you continue despite criticism, each time you get back up after a failure, each time you push through when you want to quit, you're building your mental strength. Like physical exercise, it's the resistance that builds the muscle. You'll need to sacrifice the comfort of certainty. When you work for someone else, follow someone else's path, live by someone else's rules, you have the illusion of certainty. Breaking free means accepting that certainty is a myth, that risk is inevitable, and that this uncertainty is actually your greatest opportunity. Learn to distinguish between constructive criticism and noise. Constructive criticism is specific, actionable, and usually comes from people who have achieved what you're trying to achieve. Everything else is noise. Acknowledge it, then let it pass by like background traffic while you keep moving forward. You'll face what I call the valley of solitude. That period when you're too far from your old life to go back, but too far from your goals to feel secure. This is where mental toughness becomes crucial. This is where you learn that you're stronger than you thought possible. Build what I call an emotional success account. Just like a financial account, you need to make regular deposits. Document your wins, no matter how small. Keep evidence of your progress. These become emotional resources you can draw upon when times get tough. Remember this. Criticism often says more about the critic than the criticized. People who tell you something's impossible are often just telling you what's impossible for them. Limitations are not your limitations. The fears are not your fears. The ceiling doesn't have to be your ceiling. The price of independence includes giving up the right to complain. When you choose to be self-reliant, you choose to be responsible. This means finding solutions instead of finding fault, creating opportunities instead of waiting for them, and building bridges instead of pointing out gaps. Well, here's the beautiful truth about paying these prices. They're investments in yourself. Every sacrifice strengthens you. Every sacrifice strengthens you. Every criticism you overcome builds your resilience. Every moment of discomfort expands your capacity. You're not just building a successful life. You're building yourself into someone capable of sustaining that success. The moment you decide to take complete ownership of your future, everything changes. The excuses that once seemed so valid suddenly appear hollow. The help you thought you needed reveals itself as training wheels that were holding you back. The permission you were waiting for transforms into the realization that you never needed it in the first place. Your personal revolution begins with a simple she. Stop looking around for help and start looking within for strength. Every resource you need is either already within you or within your reach. Every answer you seek is either in your mind or in books you can read. Every opportunity you want is either visible now or will become visible once you start moving. Think of it this way. If you're waiting for someone to make your dreams come true, you've given them the power to make your dreams stay dreams forever. Take that power back. It's yours. It always was. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming who you truly are without the limitations others place. I met a man in Seattle in 1995 who told me something profound. He said, the day I stopped asking, who can help me, and started asking, what can I do right now, was the day my life actually began. He went from being a middle-aged cashier to owning 3 successful stores in just 2 years. Not because he found help, but because he found himself. Creating unstoppable momentum starts with understanding this truth. Motion creates emotion. Don't wait until you feel ready to start. Start and you'll begin to feel ready. Each action you take creates energy for the next action. Each small victory fuels the next challenge. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Your mindset needs to shift from "I need to create" instead of needing opportunities. Create them. Instead of needing connections, build them. Instead of needing motivation, generate it through action. This shift transforms you from a consumer of circumstances to a creator of circumstances. The world makes way for the person who knows where they're going and isn't waiting for an escort. When you move with purpose, you act with conviction. When you pursue your goals with unwavering determination, you'll find that the help you thought you needed often appears after you've already begun the journey. Living on your own terms means making decisions based on your values, not others' expectations. It means choosing your own definition of success. It means understanding that while others can offer opinions, only you can make the decisions that shape your life. There's something crucial about momentum. It's not about speed, it's about consistency. Small actions taken consistently create more momentum than large actions taken occasionally. Think of it like pushing a boulder. The hardest part is getting it to move at all. Once it's moving, keeping it moving becomes easier. Your personal revolution requires what I call selective deafness, the ability to tune out the voices that don't serve your growth. Not all input deserves your attention. Not all opinions deserve your consideration. Not all criticism deserves your response. Save your energy for action, not reaction. Remember this, the cavalry isn't coming. The rescue team isn't on its way. The perfect moment isn't arriving. And that's the best news you'll ever receive, because it means your success is entirely in your hands. It means you can start now, start alone. Start with what you have and build something extraordinary. Your life is waiting for you to claim it, not next week, not when you feel ready, not when someone gives you permission. Now today, this moment, the future you want exists on the other side of actions that only you can take. The most powerful realization you can have is this: everything you need for your initial success is already within your reach. You don't need more information, you need more application. You don't need more resources, you need more resourcefulness. You don't need more power, you need more determination. Stand up, step forward, take action. Your life is waiting, and the only person who can make it extraordinary is you. The only permission you need is your own. The only help required is your determination. The only time that matters is now. This is your moment of truth. Will you wait for someone else to build your dreams, or will you rise up and build them yourself? The choice is yours, but remember, no one is coming to do it for you. And that's not a limitation. It's your greatest opportunity. The world doesn't reward those who wait for help. It rewards those who help themselves to the power to change your life, to achieve your dreams, to become who you're meant to be. It's all within you. It always has been. Take control of your destiny. Start today, start alone. Start with what you have, just start, because the only help that will ever truly change your life is the help you give yourself. Rise up, take action, and show the world what you're capable of achieving on your own terms. The future belongs to those who create it for themselves. Be one of them. Your story of success begins the moment you stop waiting and start doing. Make that moment now.